Why Mongolia is the most underrated country on Earth. I spent 7 days in one of the most remote countries on Earth, and it cost me less than a weekend in many European cities. I slept with nomads, rode across endless grasslands, and discovered a side of Mongolia that most tourists never see. But one experience completely changed the way I look at travel, and I'll show you that later in this video. My adventure started in the capital city, Ulaanbaatar. At first glance, it feels like a modern city. But behind the busy streets lies a fascinating blend of Soviet history, Buddhist culture, and ancient nomadic traditions. I stayed in a hostel for just $10 per night. My first stop was the magnificent Gandantegchinlen Monastery. The giant golden Buddha and peaceful atmosphere made it one of the most memorable places in the city. Next, I visited Ulaanbaatar Square, the heart of Mongolia. Surrounded by government buildings and monuments, it offers a glimpse into the country's modern identity. That evening, I tasted my first Mongolian meal, a plate of buz, steamed dumplings filled with juicy meat and spices. Simple, delicious, and incredibly affordable. The next morning, I left the city and headed toward Gorky Tarolj National Park. Within a short drive, the urban landscape disappeared. What surprised me most was how difficult it was to communicate outside the city. In its place came endless green valleys, rock formations, and open skies. After climbing hundreds of steps to Aryabal Temple, I turned around and saw nothing but green valleys stretching to the horizon. For a moment, it felt like I had the entire country to myself. One of the most authentic experiences in Mongolia is spending time with a nomadic family. That evening, I sat inside a traditional gur with a nomadic family. We shared tea, stories, and a meal while the wind swept across the steppe outside. Despite speaking different languages, their hospitality made me feel completely at home. And that's when I realized something. Some of the most meaningful travel experiences don't come from famous landmarks, luxury hotels, or expensive tours. They come from genuine human connections. That evening inside a simple gur on the Mongolian steppe completely changed the way I think about travel. No visit to Mongolia is complete without seeing the impressive Genghis Khan statue complex. Standing 40 meters tall, it is one of the largest equestrian statues in the world. From the viewing platform, the surrounding steppe stretches endlessly into the distance. It's impossible not to think about the incredible history of the Mongol Empire. Today I traveled to Hostel National Park. This park is famous for the rare wild Taki horses. Once extinct in the wild, these horses have successfully returned to their natural habitat. Watching them run freely across the steppe was a moment I'll never forget. Back in Ulaanbaatar, I explored local markets and cultural centers. This was the perfect opportunity to try more traditional food. Some must-try dishes include: a plate of buz cost me around $2. Kashushur, fried meat pastries $3 suivan. Stir-fried noodles with meat $3 korkog. Meat cooked with hot stones $4 erol. Traditional dried cheese snacks. Mongolian food is hearty, filling, and ideal for the country's harsh climate. And above all, meals are cheaper than a cup of coffee in Europe. On my final morning, I watched the sunrise over the Mongolian landscape. The silence was extraordinary. No crowds, no tourist traps, just endless horizons. Before coming to Mongolia, I expected endless grasslands. What I didn't expect was the kindness of strangers, the simplicity of nomadic life, and the feeling of complete freedom. It became one of the most unforgettable places I've ever visited.